Yeah. This is big. Looks like Prabhupada's cartels here.
Yes, exactly.
Gita as it is. Copy. Paste. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Govind. We have two Govinda here. One more there. You have so many Govindas here.
Yes.
We have another Govindas there.
Big one.
Bigger one. You want to come in? Come. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadhari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giribharadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radhe. Jai Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Radhe Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Radhe. Jaya Lalita Visaka Lalita Visaka Lalita Visaka Jaya Lalita Visaka. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shivaya Gopal Krishna Dashami Tamilim Prabhupada Sasritani Prakashanti Vijaya Vicharan Vivacharan Padema. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavad Paschachade Satarine. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyanangyana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaisnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Si Visakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We continue reading from the Srimad Bhagavad-Gita as it is, Chapter 2, Contents of the Gita summarized, text number 10. Everybody please repeat after me. Tam Uvacha Rishikesha Prahashan Iva Bharata Senayor Ubayor Madhye Visidantam Idam Vacha Tang Uvacha Rishikesha Prahasan Iva Bharata Senayor Ubayor Madhye Vishidantam idam vacha Tang uvacha Rishikesha Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha Tang uvacha Rishikesha Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha
Tam uvacha Rishikesha
Uvacha Rishikesha Senayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha Tam uvacha Rishikesha Prahasantam idam Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha Tam uvacha Rishikesha Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha Tam uvacha Rishikesha Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha
Tam uvacha Rishikesha
Tam uvacha Rishikesha Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha. Govind, want to sound? No? Mataji.
Tam uvacha Rishikesha
Tam uvacha Rishikesha
Prahasan iva Bharata
Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye
Vishidantam idam vacha
Vishidantam idam vacha
Tam uvacha Rishikesha
Tam uvacha Rishikesha Prahasang iva Bharata Senayor ubayor madhye Vishidantam idam vacha Tam unto him Uvacha said, Rishikesha, the master of the senses, Krishna, Prahashan, smiling, Iva, like that, Bharata, Odritarashtra, descendants of Bharata, Shenayor, of the armies, Ubayo, of both parties, Madhye, between, Visham, unto the lamenting one, Idam, the following, Vacha, words. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Everybody please repeat. O descendant of Bharata, at that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Purport. The talk was going on between intimate friends, namely the Rishikesh and the Gudakesh. As friends, both of them were on the same level, but one of them voluntarily became a student of the other. Krishna was smiling because a friend had chosen to become a disciple. As Lord of all, He is always in the superior position as the master of everyone. And yet, the Lord agrees to be a friend, son, or a lover for a devotee who wants Him in such a role. But when He was accepted as the master, He at once assumed the role and talked with the disciple like the master, with gravity, as it is required. It appears that the talk between the master and the disciple was openly exchanged in the presence of both armies, so that all were benefited. So the talks of Bhagavad-Gita are not for any particular person, society, or community, but they are for all, and friends or enemies are equally entitled to hear them. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tang uvacha Rishikesha prahasang iva bharata shinayor uvayor madhye vishidantang idang vacha. So, second time we heard the name of Lord Krishna as Rishikesh. Text 9 also. The name Rishikesh is mentioned. Unto Krishna, the master of the senses. Krishna. So, many arguments were given by Arjuna not to fight, but they're all being counteracted by Lord Krishna, trying to convince his friend to fight. And now being bewildered in what to do and what not to do. Now, ultimately, he accepted. First, he says, okay, I will fight. But then he says, for the time being, I don't want to fight. Contradictory here. I shall fight. But then he says, Govinda, I shall not fight. Because he cannot figure out what to do. And Lord Krishna, understanding the mentality of his friend, but then Krishna started to smile. Because Arjuna now will understand that I need help here. I cannot do it by myself, so I need some help from my friend, Lord Krishna. Of course, he didn't say Lord Krishna. As a friend, he treats Krishna as equal or the same level. Just like we were talking this morning in the class, in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Saka, or friend. There are different kinds of friends. And Arjuna is the best friend of Lord Krishna in Dwarka. Or in that, when he is in Dwarka. That's why he came. Lord Krishna was in Dwarka. He has already many children and grandchildren. But then he came to give instructions to Arjuna so that the Bhagavad-Gita could be spoken again to help the conditioned souls in Kali Yuga, so that we can make a decision what to do and what not to do, and to understand the position of Lord Krishna, and to understand our position. Lord Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are all His servants. So Rishikesha means the master of the senses. So he's addressing in the text 9 also here. And also in text 10, Rishikesha, you are the master of the senses. Rishikesh. Sarvapadi binirmuktam tat bharatbena nirmalam Rishikesha Rishikena Rishikesh sevanam bhaktir uchate. Yes. Sarva upadi binirmuktam. That means we have so many misunderstanding or misidentification, so much of misidentifying the body as the self. And Rishikesh, who is the master of the senses, can help us to understand this misidentification that we are having, our ignorance. So Arjuna is accepting that you are the master of the senses, and therefore I need you to control my senses. I need you to do this. They are friends, but then Arjuna started to realize that I cannot do it by myself. I need my friend who is Rishikesh, the master of the senses, to control my senses. And that's why this time, Prahashan. Prahashan, smiling. He is smiling now. The predicament of Arjuna is in a situation where he needs to be instructed. And even as a friend, usually in the same equal, they may not really accept advice or instructions. But this time, he put himself in a subordinate position. As a student or as a disciple, Arjuna understood that I cannot do it by myself. I need some guidance here. And therefore, when Lord Krishna understood that Arjuna is now giving Lord Krishna the understanding that which he will need, and therefore Rishikesh, Lord Krishna started to smile voluntarily. They're on the same level as friends. Both of them were on the same level. Usually friends on the same level, even though one may be older and one may be younger. But as friends, they give and take. They share the same likes. They share the same things. They eat on the same plate usually. Friends are like this, right? They eat on the same place. Or don't you have that experience when you were young or in school, in college? Govinda, you had that experience? You share the same food, right? It's the same for the Lord. And the Lord didn't mind. He's my friend. He didn't think, oh, I'm God and you are Jiva, so you cannot eat on the same plate with me. No, they're friends. It says the friends can slap each other's faces and, they will still keep smiling. So here, what we are in this situation now, Krishna was smiling because a friend has chosen to become a disciple. The spiritual master is like that also. He's happy to see that the disciple or the aspiring disciple would like to make progress spiritually. This is so happy. It's like the parents, when the parent sees that the child started to walk and then started to go to school. Deep inside, the parents are very happy. He's not a boy anymore. He's not my child. Well, he's still my child, but he has a lot more of activities that ultimately one day he'll be standing on his own. He'll be on his own. And then one day he'll go get married, have his own family. Parents are so proud in that way. So Lord Krishna here, in a sense, yes, he is the master of everyone. Position-wise, he is superior. But he's always wanting for the benefit of Arjuna. Whatever Arjuna will decide, he will be dependent on his success or not. But here, as soon as he understood, Lord Krishna understood that Arjuna needs some help. And he's now asking me for help. This is good. Good for him. So the Lord, it says here, as the Lord of all, he is always in the superior position as the master of everyone. And yet the Lord agrees to be a friend, a son, or a lover for a devotee who wants him in such a role. Yes, this is what we have read and understood from Srila Prabhupada's books and from the Acharyas, that individually we are spirit souls, unique individual souls, and we have special relationship with the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is the only personality who has relationship with everyone. And they're not all equal. Of course, he says, I'm equal to everyone. No one is my friend, no one is my foe. But the relationship that his devotees would like to have with him, he fulfills. He fulfills. Prabhupada says, if you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will make all the facilities for you to forget him. But if you want to come to Lord Krishna, you take one step, Krishna will take 10 steps towards you. So, yayatamam prapajante tamstataiva bhajamiham. As they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So as we were talking in the class this morning, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the cowherd boys, they treat Krishna equally. This is their relationship with Lord Krishna. They go on top of his shoulder. Usually when they have a game or a play, whoever lose, they will carry the winner onto their shoulder. So Lord Krishna, sometimes he will lose his team, and then he will carry on his shoulder. God carries the devotee or a person on top of his shoulder? How can he be God? That's not possible. But according to our theology, it is possible, because this is how the devotee wants him to be treated by Lord Krishna. Or this is how he wants to be treated by Lord Krishna. So seemingly Krishna is subordinate than his devotees. No. Krishna is subordinate with the love of his devotees. It is not that, hey, I am greater than Krishna. No, it is the love, because the love overpowers everyone, including Lord Krishna. This is the only way, it says in the Nectar of Devotion, this is the only way how we can purchase Krishna. It's not really a commodity. But this is the way how you will capture the heart of Lord Krishna, by your love. This prema. And in prema, I was reading this morning, prema is like, if you are in love with someone, actually you request something from him that you desire to have. And knowingly that because you have that reciprocal relationship with each other and bound by love, then the other person will give it. I said, this is Krishna. He is bound by the love of his devotees that he is ready to seemingly carry Nanda Baba's slippers on top of his head. How God carrying the slippers, the chapals? Our God has a father, God has a mother, God has a brother. You will never hear of this anywhere else. Only in our theology, only in our books, only in our scriptures. You will never find this. Of course, you can find this also in the Christian Bible. Jesus Christ washed the feet of his disciples. The Pope will do that also. The Pope in Christianity. But it's to show the humility. But for Lord Krishna, it's different. He really gives himself, gives up himself because of the love. He's always superior, yes, in the position, but then when it comes to relationship, seems to be he's like a hand-packed husband in Dwarka. Satyabhama wanted the Parijata flower, right? But he did not pick the flower, he picked the whole tree. He took the whole tree from King Indra and he planted it in Dwarka. Just to please his queen. So, yes, these different relationships that we have says that it is unique, and somehow Prabhupada told us that we have forgotten this. We have forgotten. We have this unique individual relationship with the Supreme Lord in many, many ways. 5 of them major. Shanta, neutrality. Dasha, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So even the sands in Vrindavan has relationship with Lord Krishna. Brajaraj. Even the trees, the plants, the birds, the animals, everyone in Vrindavan is fully conscious of Lord Krishna. And Krishna fulfills all of their desires according to how they want Krishna to reciprocate with them. So seemingly Krishna is like, you may say, is bound again. That doesn't diminish the position of Lord Krishna. Actually, that becomes embellishment. That becomes decorations of His being God. If God doesn't let us to do what the devotees want from God, then He's not God. He's not complete. Does it make sense? Huh? Because if there is a limit of how, because of love is so overpowering that the devotee demands from the Supreme Lord, I wish to have this. I know you can give. And the devotees, they don't have fear. In fear that, oh, I may offend him or not. Like the Sakas, again, the coward boyfriends. They don't have any fear with Lord Krishna, thinking that, I think I'm asking too much. He's gonna fight with the demons again. They know Denuka is a very powerful demon. But still they ask, why don't you go? We know that you can do it. We know that you can kill them. We know that you've been killing so many demons every day, but another demon will not make any more difference. One more, it's like, it will not harm you. And Krishna is so humble. Oh, I've been killing many demons in the past. Okay, my dear brother, it's your turn. You do it. I think, and as we mentioned earlier in the class also, any one of these coward boys can kill the demons that Lord Krishna killed. But they don't want to use that. They don't want to. This is their humility again. They say, hey, we are friends. You do it. In the pastimes of Aghasura, when the big snake, the upper lip, can touch the sky, so huge. And they know that Krishna will protect them. So they all went inside the mouth of Aghasura. And Krishna was thinking, oh no, they're in trouble. And tears started to flow from his eyes. He says, oh no, what am I gonna do now? I have to go also inside. And then he went inside and became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and like exploded from the top of the head of Aghasura. So this is Krishna. He fulfills all the desires of his pure devotees. So they are not ordinary souls. No, we cannot. For a neophyte, he wants to always demand something. I want this, I want that. Big shopping list, like a Christmas wish list. Okay, checklist. Okay, I want this. No. For a neophyte, it's like Krishna becomes order supplier. I order Krishna to do this. But without love, that is not possible. That's not gonna happen. First, we have to develop this love. And we have to pay the price. As Rupa Goswami says, we have to pay the price. And what is the price? Lobha. We have to be greedy. Are you really greedy to attain love of God? Then you must be willing to pay the price. If you're just not willing to attain it, then you will not pay the price, isn't it? Reciprocally, it will not work. And even after attaining love of God, it doesn't stop there. It's just increasing and increasing and increasing more. I was reading that for those who want to attain love of God, then they have to follow in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. But then, you cannot follow in the footsteps of the inhabitants of Vrindavan if your senses are uncontrolled. If your mind is not fixed, if your mind is not peaceful. That's why we have to do this sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Then it'll become raganuga, practice. After practice, then one will come to raganuga. Practice means controlling the senses, regulated lifestyles. Then you go to raganuga bhakti. When in the raganuga bhakti, it's not completely 100% in the mode of goodness. But you started to like someone who has that special relationship with Lord Krishna. You become inspired by that devotee, how that devotee love and serve Lord Krishna. You started to kind of like follow in the footsteps of that personality. Then you become spontaneous. Because sadhana bhakti is divided into two parts. Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti. Then after that, after some time, one will have the taste, will become detached, and will become fixed. You start to have all of those, and then one will come to Bhava Bhakti. And then in the Bhava Bhakti, you started to understand what is your eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. It doesn't come so easily. It's very difficult. And it is very rare that one comes to that level. But it is possible. See, it is difficult, it is rare, but it is possible. If it's rare, if it's difficult and it's rare and it's impossible, then there's no hope. Why are we doing what we're doing? I mean, if we're not going to attain that, then why are we doing this? But at the same time, we know, we have a little bit of taste. This is what we call shadow attachment. Shadow attachment means somehow we get a little bit of taste. It's like first time when we come in contact with Krishna consciousness, it is like, I wish all the time is like this. So happy all the time, blissful, enthusiastic, very inspired. But then after some time, we have to fight with our mind. It's not really that easy. We know we have to defeat this mind, be our friend, to be our friend. So the Lord agrees to be in any one of these different relationships according to the devotee who wants him in such a role. So here, but when he was accepted as the master, he at once assumed the role and talked with the disciple like the master, with gravity as it is required. No more sitting on the same or sleeping in the same bed or sitting in the same position. Now the disciple should be always lower in the position and accept himself to be always like a fool. Like a fool. But he doesn't, even the disciple, let's say in some subject matters, mundane subject matters, let's say the disciple knows better than the guru, he will not show to the guru. that I know better than you. Was that Mr. Scientist? Who? Bhakti Sarup Damodar Maharaj? He will always kind of like have a debate or argument with Prabhupada. Even though as a scientist, Bhakti Sarup Damodar Maharaj is like very, very intelligent, knowledgeable. But he will always have himself be defeated. But sometimes he would argue with Prabhupada, but he's always being defeated. Because Prabhupada would like to have that kind of relationship with his disciple. Sometimes Prabhupada will pose himself as an atheist. Okay, you defeat me. And then sometimes the role will change. That the disciple will be the atheist. But it doesn't matter which role Prabhupada will play. He will always be the successful. He'll always be the winner. So yes, we should never ever forget the position of the spiritual master being the pure representative of the Supreme Lord, bona fide via media representative of the Supreme Lord. So his position, being a representative of the Supreme Lord, is that he is our way how to reach Lord Krishna. So always, even though sometimes the spiritual master may sometimes joke with us, but still, don't ever think that he became like us. Okay? Prabhupada also would make jokes when he gives classes, but then immediately he becomes grave. And sometimes he will make a very serious point, and one of his disciples would laugh. He would ask, why are you laughing? It's not a joke. So yes, we have to always see and approach the spiritual master with awe and reverence, even though he's our friend also. We talked about that in last few meetings, that the spiritual master is our friend, but at the same time, it's not like buddy friend. You can, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, how are you? You cannot do like that. You cannot like, how are you today, Guru Maharaj? Everything all right? No. You can still ask, Guru Maharaj, how are you? Is everything? Of course, I will with my Guru Maharaj, and he will always be asked, how are you? How are you? How are you, Guru Maharaj? That's okay. I mean, and he would say, I feel okay, but I don't know what's going on inside. It seems to be I'm all right, but that's okay to ask him like that kind of question, because he's our friend. Like when you see your friend, right? How are you, Prabhu? How are you, Mataji? Everything okay? Yes. But still, we have to respect up to a certain extent the position, because if they're older than us, then respect will be there. And the spiritual master should be always, we should not be familiar. And because Arjuna was being familiar with Lord Krishna, and now he understood his position. He's accepting himself to be like a student or a disciple of Lord Krishna. And that's why Lord Krishna is smiling here. He's smiling. Now he's going to get so much, in the next verse, he's going to get chastised. Yes. Asochan and basochastam, right? You're speaking like a learned man, but actually you're acting like a fool. That'll be the next verse. Okay, so the talks of the Bhagavad, this is the most important point here now. So the talks of Bhagavad-Gita are not for any particular person, society, or community, but they are for all. And friends or enemies are equally entitled to hear them. It's a universal knowledge. It's more of universal knowledge than a book of Dharma. Because the others may have different meanings of Dharma. We know what is really Dharma is. Dharma means our constitutional position, understanding Lord Krishna's position and our position. Others, their understanding of Dharma is not like ours. But when we say, this is a book of knowledge, knowledge is meant for everyone. It doesn't matter which religion you follow, what culture you belong to, nationality, color, creed, caste. This is for everyone. Because we're talking about the soul here. We're not talking about external things. We're talking about what's inside. What matters is inside. So, that's why the Bhagavad-Gita is a universal knowledge that can dissipate our ignorance. As Sankaracharya says in the Gita Mahatmya, let there be one book, Bhagavad-Gita. Even if we just study the Bhagavad-Gita and chant the holy name of the Lord, serve the Vaishnavas, one can go back home, back to Godhead. Wow, we're all having calls from Krishna here and there. If this is Krishna, you answer. If this is not Krishna, you don't answer this. Okay, it's not Krishna. Buddhajan Prabhu says, if you don't have a cow's ringtone, then don't answer the phone during my class. I have a ringtone cows. That's what we use during Prabhupada's disappearance day. Mooing of the cow. So, we're so fortunate. We're studying Prabhupada's books and Vrindavan. We can get so much deeper understanding. And it is not a superficial knowledge. What we've learned, we should practice every day. What we learn every day, whatever activities you perform the whole day reflects on what you read on that day. Okay, I'll repeat. Whatever activities you do the whole day reflects on what you've read on that day. That means that is your application of what you've read is more important than what we are reading. So I'm very happy of being always surrounded by devotees who are having the taste for reading and studying, hearing transcendental literatures like Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. This is one of the symptoms or sign of a bhakta. He's always eager to describe the glories or pastimes of the Lord, and also always eager to hear. And in Vrindavan, if you hear these topics, the effect is 1,000 times more purifying. Okay, we stop here. Is there any questions or points on this? Very nice verse. Krishna is smiling. Before he was serious. Now he started to smile. Any other points? We're going to hear now Sankhya. After this, 11 to text 30 is Sankhya. Study of the soul. Yes, sir.
Maharaj, suddenly the role is changing.
The role?
The role is changing. He become a master and Arjuna become a
No, they were equal before. Equal.
Actually, suppose you are talking to me, we can come to the level of friendly. even though you are.
They were always friends. They're good friends. They're best friends.
That is
They're best
acceptable.
friends.
But friendly level, thoroughly coming to the top level, that is.
Because if I need some instruction, then I have to listen from you. And Arjuna now needs to know what is the best thing for him to do. He was ready to fight, but then he was saying, "Oh, just one moment, I will not fight now. I will fight later." But then, no, he has to convince now Arjuna to really come to that position of admitting that, yes, I shall fight. So he needs more information. He needs ways how he will be convinced how to do that. And Krishna is just waiting for this moment. That's why we will hear now about what is the soul. And the first teachings is in the second chapter, text number 13. Dehinosmin yata dehe komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara praktir dirastatra namudi. This is the first teachings in the Bhagavad-Gita. The nature of the soul. And then he'll go on, cannot be cut into pieces, cannot be withered by the wind, it's eternal, everlasting. All of this. This is now the start of the teachings. This is like introduction only. The real nectar now will come after this. Okay? So it's quite alright. Don't be hesitant. If you don't know anything, you ask. You're lost, and then you say, "Yeah, I know where I'm going." It's like in India, Prabhupada says you have to ask 3 times direction. Because if you ask someone, "Where is this?" Age, Shida. Even though you go like many, zigzag. Then you ask another person, "I'm looking for this others." Age, Shida. No problem. Go. Everything is straight. Everything is keep going. But no, it is not. Because in India there is no address. There is no number. There is no even street. Is there a street in Vrindavan? Oh yeah, only Bhaktivedanta Swami Marg. But you go outside or sideways, and there is no street name. So if you're lost, you better ask. Otherwise you will be forever lost. So don't be hesitant. Don't be puffed up. I know everything, but you don't know anything. So Arjuna is the best disciple. He started to inquire now. How does he walk? How does he sit? A transcendentalist. What does he look like? All of these things. Because Arjuna, we should put ourselves in the following, in the sleeper, so to speak. Put ourselves in the Arjuna's position. Then we will understand. Okay? Yes? Is there any mic here? No? Now it's wireless and micless.
Maharajji, I am not able to come to classes daily due to some obstacles. So I try to read at home, but I am not able to understand anything. Like I am not able to connect.
Yeah.
Read.
You are not able to come to the class every day and you read at home and you'll not be able to understand. It is impossible to understand. You have to hear from the devotees, in association of devotees. Don't worry, keep reading, and then whenever you have things that you don't understand, you bring it here. You ask the speaker. You write notes. Okay? Don't stop reading. Keep reading, and whenever you have chance to come, you ask these questions.
Recorded lectures are also visible.
Yeah, recorded, but it's not the same. You will not see the happy faces of the devotees and I will not see you, Vaikuntapati, smiling. No. This is the oral reception. This is very different. Otherwise, why do you have to come here? You can just go back to your ashram, and I can speak here by myself. But it's not the same. Also, I will not have that.
That's why we are coming physically here.
Yeah, I will not. The speaker will not have so much enthusiasm also to speak. Even in Zoom, it's not the same. I speak to many countries, different countries in the world. Devotees are. Of course, I know they are there, but I don't have that. You don't have that interaction like what we do here, like what we have. You understand? So, yes, Chaitanya Prabhu, do you have a question?
I have to say something.
Ek minute. She raised her hands, then you, and you, Prabhuji. You always have something to say, which is good.
Hare Krishna, thank you for your beautiful class. Maharaj, this question I just wanted to ask that you said that whenever you read, you apply in your day-to-day.
Whatever you read, you apply.
So
Yes.
then how you connect, it's not so easy for us to connect with the Bhagavad-Gita. So how we have to keep reminding ourselves to connect with the Bhagavad-Gita? To apply the day-to-day.
You have to keep reading again and again and again, and it will make sense. In the beginning, I don't know if, I think all of us, when we read first the Bhagavad-Gita, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. For me, it was my experience. I don't understand. But then when I hear Prabhupada's, make it a point also to hear Prabhupada's lectures every day. You know, we have this Prabhupada box, all of the 3,000 lectures and conversations and address and bhajans. Here, Prabhupada's. No one can be more as powerful as Prabhupada when he gives to lecture. And this is the speciality. This is the purifying effect of Prabhupada's words. This was recorded, all of this recorded 50 years ago. And the purifying effect cannot be equaled. Even the best of the best speakers in ISKCON. So you hear. And this is what I do. As soon as you get up, wake up, turn on this Prabhupada lecture. Whatever lecture it is. Or his bhajan. It will make sense after some time. Because the more you chant, the more you serve the Vaisnavas, the more you practice your sadhana. Don't commit any Vaisnava parad, especially. It will make sense what Prabhupada and what we are hearing from Krishna and the questions from Arjuna. It will make sense. And the effect, again, I read this morning, the symptom of a bhakta. You are forgiving, you are, you don't waste time, you're always eager to hear, you are kind, you're compassionate. All of these things will come. Because this is the nature of the soul. Once you experience this, that actually you're trying to help others, you're always ready to tell others about Krishna, that means it is working. It is working. Because devotees like this. But for a neophyte, no, he doesn't care about others. He's only caring about his sense enjoyment. He may chant, he may come to the mandir, but he's selfish. He's not selfless. Once you become selfless means that self disappear. That means you don't mind anything. You're not expecting any respect for yourself. That means what you're reading, it makes sense. You're the yes, Mataji.
Maharaj, right now in the lecture you said ki if you are associating with Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to pay the price for it. Means
No,
like,
in order to associate with Lord Krishna,
Uh-huh.
you should be ready to pay the price.
you should be ready to pay the price.
Greediness, greed.
Greediness.
Greed to attain Him. That means if you're greedy to attain love of Krishna, that means your priority should be Krishna. If Krishna is second in priority, then you will not attain Krishna. It'll take many, many lifetimes.
But Maharaj, it is not so easy to even constantly think about Krishna because
Yes, you
it
can.
has there are so many hurdles in life. It is not so easy, Maharaj.
It's not so easy. See, this means that you put Krishna as the center of your life. You have a family. I know I have to feed my family. So I should offer first to Krishna before I feed my family. Whatever I will offer to my family, first Krishna should eat. This is what it means. If you want to eat something, you first offer to Krishna. Okay, whatever you will do, you will think ahead. Am I making advancement if I do this, that I will make advancement in my Krishna consciousness, or am I just prioritizing my family? I want to fulfill their desire to be happy, even though Krishna will not be at first. Do you follow? It's like, say, Chaitanya, he wants something. But then I should think, will this make him Krishna conscious, or will this only will fulfill his desire to be happy, even though it doesn't have any connection with Krishna? So if everything you think, whatever I will do, ultimately is for Krishna's pleasure. So you're accomplishing two things. Chaitanya wants something, but then you should learn how to say, no, not this time. Right? But then if Chaitanya wants something, okay, I'll give it to you. But first, you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
He's trapped.
You see, there is attachment and there is affection. We should not be attached to our family members. We should be their affection should be there. Attachment means you want to fulfill their material desires. If you have a genuine affection towards them, then you should guide them that Krishna will ultimately be pleased. Okay? Now you understand. That means you really want to be Krishna conscious in spite of your responsibilities with your family. If it's not going to happen, then it may take many, many lifetimes to attain Krishna. But it's possible, but many lifetimes. Our goal is to attain Krishna in this lifetime. We should be determined. This lifetime, I want to become Krishna conscious. And Krishna will fulfill that. As we mentioned earlier, whatever your desire, Krishna will fulfill.
Maharaj, Krishna also sees our efforts. We are trying. Maharaj, we are not perfect, but at least we are trying. We are coming from there till we have reached here. At least we have...
Sure, the test will always be there. Efforts was that man proposes, God disposes. So ours is a proposal for Krishna. It's like you want to win the heart of the girl or a boy. So you propose, please accept me, I will do this for you. If you accept me, I'm ready to do this for you. So we should be like that also. We should be really ready to do anything and everything for Krishna to accept us. Krishna is giving himself to us, but we are not ready to accept him. That is the problem. Krishna is always there. I'm ready. Hey, you take me anytime. But it's like Arjuna says, I'm not going to fight, not now. I know I know I have to be Krishna conscious, but not now. Later on, I will be Krishna conscious. I know I will end up there, but not now. Abhinay, but may. Kal. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow never comes then.
Yes. Well, tomorrow will come, but after some time. Isn't it? That's what we need to. We have to act actually. Ignore the mind. The mind is our worst enemy. It's too much. We've been cheated by and tricked by mind for many, many lifetimes. We've done. We have enough of that. We have enough. We have to purify ourselves. And Krishna, as I said, Krishna will give up everything. Will give facilities. Look at Prabhupada. He came with 40 rupees, but then after that he has like thousands of crores. Because he gave everything to Krishna. Okay, sir.
First I will answer his question.
You cannot answer that, okay?
He's already answered. Maharaj has already answered.
In brief,
Okay.
the Arjuna
Summary.
The Arjuna asked Krishna, Chanchalam Himana Krishna. The Krishna admitted that you are correct, but by practice you can fix your mind in me.
Practice and detachment. Yes. Yes. Thank you, sir. Another more? One more?
I have to say my question.
Okay.
Once Mother Rukmani and other queens of Dwarka asked Krishna why you became the chariot driver of Arjuna. Krishna said, I will tell you later on. Once Arjuna was sleeping in the palace, Krishna was coming from every pore of his body.
Where did you read this, Prabhu?
He was so devoted to Krishna.
Yes, it says that the coward boys, Sridham, he will never live, even in dreams, Krishna. They're always with Krishna, thinking of Krishna. The coward boys. Like Lord Balaram, he will never live Krishna, even in dreams. So we should be like this also. He will come. He will come. Okay? Yes, sir.
What is Bhagavad-Gita? The mercy of the spiritual master, Guru is required also.
Of course, without Guru's mercy. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadat nagati kutopi.
My experience actually, before initiation, you are not able to remember the Shiksha-stakam. But just after the initiation, I next day remembered that actually.
Yes. Everything will be possible because of the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Both together. Okay? Muchas gracias. Spasibo. Sukriya. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. And we hope that war between Russia and Ukraine will never really escalate. Otherwise, traveling will be very difficult again. There'll be international travels, I don't know, it'll be stopped again.